Macy's is now selling an assortment from Abercrombie Kids as part of its back to school merchandising. According to Retail Dive, the collection of jeans, t-shirts, dresses, skirts, sweaters, outerwear, and accessories will now be available in sizes 5 to 18 in stores and online, according to a Monday press release. Chris, what do you think of this Abercrombie Kids and Macy's partnership?
Wow, I think net I like it for both sides. I really do. I think
Mm-hmm.
numbers wise, I was looking at the numbers last night. There are approximately 100 Abercrombie kids stores. There's 350 Macy's stores in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
approximately. So that's like three times the distribution, 3x the distribution for Abercrombie. So I like that. For Macy's, I like the back to school hook. It gives people a reason to want to go to Macy's, which I've said has been a consistent problem for the department store in general, Macy's particularly.
Yeah.
And so it gives them a hook over the next couple of months. Um, Abercrombie also gets wider distribution for their inventory at this period of time, which is also important, especially when you look at the macroeconomic conditions. And it also will get an understanding of where it's selling and what markets it's selling,
Mm-hmm.
in the Macy's stores where it doesn't have its own standalone stores. So that could be advantageous in terms of understanding, how it looks as it looks to redefine its store strategy in the long term. And Macy's, at the end of the day, the funny thing about this story too, Macy's is only doing what it's always done, which is buying brands wholesale from companies it thinks are relevant for the time period.
Mm-hmm.
So, and does Abercrombie Kids, Hollister, Abercrombie itself become also a long-term digital marketplace partner of Macy's too, based on the success of this? Maybe it's something I wouldn't take off the table given how the industry is consolidating and there's strange bedfellows emerging every day. But this could be proof point number one to that concept potentially over time too. So net, I don't think there's anything not to like about this partnership. But what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I
Okay.
think especially for Abercrombie and Fitch kids, like it gets them space inside demos that they're going to want to be in without worrying about the overhead and staffing a whole store and doing all the things at peak times when they want to be there. This is back to school is one of the biggest times. I could see them doing something for holiday. This makes complete sense. And we also significantly reduced their stores not too long ago too. So this is really giving them the ability to find, give people a reason to go to Macy's and for Abercrombie to be able to learn from their presence in these Macy's stores without that concern about overhead. I think this is actually, I'm really curious to see, and maybe we'll ask Ethan Chernovsky at Placer to see what kind of traffic Macy's gets from that. Because right now, we just shot a back to school video for Fashion's Missing Middle, and Abercrombie and Fitch Kids is definitely the most on trend assortment of product right now based on price. Like it's a great like product. It's driving, there's tons of people in those stores. And so I think we're going to see a lot of people end up going into Macy's to find this. Plus, it's a better place for product mix. They can also get shoes there. They can get basics there. They can get all the things they need while they're inside that Macy's store, but are really driven there because of the Abercrombie and Fitch kids being in that market. So I think it's going to benefit everyone all around, and I'm curious to see where Macy's takes this next and with what brands they bring in. Maybe even Abercrombie and Fitch, the adult version, like you suggested.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, you can be very smart about that, depending on where the stores are located, and you could use Macy's or other avenues to put them in products where you don't want to build stores, or put them in the online sphere too. I think the online sphere is particularly interesting part of this story to me in terms of how it evolves. Like, next year, do they just put it online? Do they put it in the store again? Like, who knows?
Yeah, and we just saw like J.C. Penney just acquired Aeropostale, Brooks Brothers, some of these others. So I'm almost wondering if this starts to be a trend that we start to see with the department stores bringing in some of these mall brands to kind of, just consolidate the space during those peak times when it makes sense to
Yeah, the
have a
department stores
presence.
become mini malls in
Hmm.
and of themselves in a lot of ways. Yeah, which actually, from a convenience standpoint, would make a ton of sense.